this on, Okay, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone had a great weekend so far. Hello, everyone. Hey, guys. Hey everyone, hey Toshia, Random, DeAndre, Topped, Suspect 13. Hey everyone. Whoever needs help selling, invite me. The thumbnail says Reddit Online, does it?
Typical.
It's not. Okay, let me fix it. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, it's fixed. Well, thank you, April. Everyone in San Andreas has access to a hitman when you steal their car. I'm good, Isaiah. How are you? Does anyone need help selling anyone? Send me an invite. I'll help you out. I'm on PS5. I have an Xbox too, but I'm mostly on PS5. I'm doing good, Dutch. How are you? Yes, I would, Mr. Hopkins. Oh, oh, that's pretty cool, Mr. Wick. No, I haven't, Zach. I'm feeling a bit better, Vizier, Lemon. Thank you for asking. Greetings from Australia, mate. Thank you, man. Thank you, Dingo, Show. Well, we could probably play in GTA 6. It'll probably have crossplay whenever that comes out. Cyberpunk? Yeah, one day I could play it. I don't know, I think I prefer helping everyone else sell, but if no one else needs help selling, I guess I'll sell my stuff then. I'm feeling better, thank you for asking, Vito. What about Max Payne 3's ending? Yeah, I'm gonna release it very soon, Luca. Where's... I'm gonna make a poll asking people what game they want me to play. In March, yeah. Oh yeah, I know about that, Isaiah. I had a coworker of mine who, when I used to work in retail, he would constantly, whenever I would work the truck nights, just unpacking the truck, he would play Jimmy Kimmel all night long on speakerphone, and it got really annoying. And it made me really hate Jimmy Kimmel too because of that. Yeah, you can just shoot the tail, helicopter will spin out. It's like that. I imagine your channel will skyrocket when GTA 6 comes out. Thank you, dude. I'm getting better. Just finished my first walkthrough ever on my YouTube channel. It was for Tomb Raider 4. You inspired me to make videos and walkthroughs. Thank you. Well, thank you also, Suspect 13, and I'm glad it's working out for you, and you're doing playthroughs too and enjoying it. I have 1,312,000,000 about. Tom, please don't spam heist invites. I can help you with your prison break heist, but it's gonna be at the end of the stream. Please don't spam invites. Who's worse, Victor Bronco or Dmitry Roskolov? Victor. Victor's even worse. The amount of suffering that Victor caused was much worse than what Dmitry did. Patrick, when doing the third Retail Rant video, be sure to react to Fantavision's Tales from Retail series. He has a bunch of stories that relate to yours. Okay, I could look into it, but, I could maybe make that into a future video, but I really want to do a video, like, reacting to, you know, my fan stories and such. But I don't, I'm not making any more, like, you know, videos talking about my experiences in retail, because I've pretty much covered everything. So people are asking me to make more retail videos, but there's really nothing else to cover. You know, I pretty much covered all the bad stories, all the bad stuff that's happened to me in retail. I pretty much covered. I made two videos, which are, you know, both, you know, close to 2 hours long, talking about it. But I can make a video reacting to other people's stories. So if other people, like, you know, make comments, I can make a video reacting to that. Thank you, Vertigo. Minifigure, you're not delivering that? Any news on the GTA 6 release date? There is this joke that was going around on Twitter where people, well, I guess thank you for the cargo. People were saying that GTA 6 trailer was going to be released on February 30th, and a lot of people fell for it. And there is no February 30th. So a lot of people fell for that. Thank you, Dingo Show. Is the original Makarov worse than Victor Bronco? Yes, the original Makarov is worse than him. Thank you, Agent Reaper. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I think that's worse than retail. I think that in the video I will I'll include both retail and food stories, because I know the food industry is very tough too. You hear about the Panda Express cult seminar? Wait, what? No, you gotta explain this to me. Do I go to the gym? I do, but I haven't been to the gym in like maybe a month and a half, and it was because I got really sick and then I just didn't have the time to go, but I should go. In Dead Man Walking, enemy spawns in Tiete docks or Hoboken alleyways are completely unpredictable, and at Wave 20 enemies will have helmets, plate carriers, and player balance of ragdoll immunity. Well, I'm gonna do a survival on that. I will. Mr. Wick or Fixated, do you need help selling anything? Oh, let me help Agent here. I do take, you know, I take vitamin D and vitamin C every day. Sleeping Dog's getting a movie? What? Really? Would I ever visit Moldova? You're talking about the Eastern European country? Well, yeah, I would be willing to visit any country really, but the I'm not gonna visit that region though until the war in the Ukraine war ends. Moldova also has a very big risk of getting involved in that war, but I don't want to talk much about that. Do I like Jon Stewart? Yes and no. Here's the thing about Jon Stewart. When Jon Stewart was younger, like I wouldn't say like really young, maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, he was great when he was like 10 or 15 years ago. But it was like in the last the thing about Jon Stewart is he used to make fun of everyone, but like now I would say within the last like 5 years, he became, like, extremely biased. Very, very biased. So that's generally... And Colbert's also really biased, too. Colbert's really, really biased. I would say the only late-night comedian that I'd like to watch is Conan. Conan, I think, is pretty fair. He's a pretty fair guy. But it's like, I would say that, yeah. Stewart and Colbert are just very, very biased. You make me happy trying to succeed, Pat. Oh, thank you, Ant. Have I played Dying Light, the first one? Oh, and let me get to that delivery vehicle. What am I doing here right now? Where is the delivery vehicle? Oh, it's right there. What minifig? I didn't even know that you were getting raided. I didn't even know what was going on. Thank you, Francis, for subscribing to the channel. And I'm not even in your MC minifig, so I can't see that. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Quincy, and the thing is, if I wanted to, I could probably strike that channel, but I'm not gonna do that, and the reason I'm not gonna do that is for two reasons. The first reason is because I believe in free speech, even if that person is making fun of me, you know, even if they're making fun of me, I generally believe in free speech, so I'm against, you know, any kind of censorship. And the second reason is if I would strike that channel, what would happen is that person would get a lot more attention, because then they could start making, you know, videos, oh, you know, the professional striked me, look at this, and he would get a lot more views, so that's precisely, you know, why I don't, you know, respond to stuff like that. But thank you for your concern. I know, the guy's is an idiot. I also know some player on Dead Man Walking Survival, I'm pretty sure has gotten through more than 400 of how ridiculously high their score is. Level 400 waves? Thank you, Lendon, for the super chat. How I played Kingdom Come, the first one I played a little bit of it. Do I know anything about Kosovo? I know that Kosovo is a very small country in the Balkans. That I know about. I know that Kosovo has a lot of problems with Serbia. I know that. I don't know much more than that. I know that I think the population in Kosovo is they're mostly originally from Albania. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I know there's like a really big problem between them and Serbia, but it... No, Albanians are not Tatars. Albanians are Albanians. The Tatars are a separate people.
Oh shit, this is fucking serious.
I know. I just want to... You know what's been happening to me, guys? About 3 weeks ago, I was really sick, like 3 weeks ago. It's like a really bad cold or even flu. I don't know if it was a cold or the flu, but it was really bad. You know, I was dizzy, constantly coughing, and I was sneezing at the same time, too. My throat was killing me, but it's gone. The sneezing is gone. The throat isn't, I don't feel any pain in my throat anymore, and I'm not dizzy anymore. But the last 3 weeks, I've still had this on and off cough. Like, you guys sometimes hear it in my videos, even in my stream. It's like sometimes I have like I start coughing out of nowhere. Other times I'm fine, but I don't know why. It's and I'm taking Halls, cough drops. I take that every day, but it's this cough has gotten really annoying. What do I think about the war in the Middle Eastern part of the world? I don't really want to get into those. There's so many conflicts there, and there's a civil war in Libya. There's a war between Israel and Palestine. There's a the Syrian civil war just ended, but the conflict is far from over too. There's this I don't really want to get into them. It's just it's so horrible, all these conflicts and stuff like that. I will only say about that, about the I will only say about the Middle Eastern conflicts. One thing I will just say about them is that the media are really, really stupid, because what's been happening is that ever since the Syrian civil war ended about a month ago, and what happened was after the Syrian civil war ended, the media was just celebrating that the rebels took power in Syria, and they were basically acting like everything was good now. They were like acting like everything is going to be fine. And the thing is, though, is that the dictator in Syria is gone, and that's generally a good thing. But the thing is, just because the dictator is gone does not mean that Syria is going to prosper right now and be a flourishing and functioning democracy. The rebels who took power in Syria have links to terrorism, and the new leader of Syria is a former Al-Qaeda terrorist. That's literally who the new leader of Syria is. So I'm not defending the dictatorship in Syria. You know, Assad was a scumbag, but people are acting like just because Assad was overthrown that Syria is going to be flourishing and peaceful and all. That's not necessarily true. I mean, look at Libya. People acted like Libya was going to be a success story after Gaddafi was overthrown, and look at what happened with Libya. It's still in civil war. How many years? For a decade later. So. Thank you, Cappy, for subscribing to my channel. Thank you, man. That's fine, Vito, but do I follow you on Twitter? If I don't follow you, I don't think you can send me a message. Panda Express workers forced to strip in cult-like team-building seminar, lawsuit alleges. What? What? Okay, I will... Akot, this suppressor, if I'm reading your name correctly. I will look into this in a moment here. Let me just Google this. I'm curious about this. Let's see. Panda Express. This happened about 4 years ago. Panda Express workers forced to strip in cult-like team-building seminar, lawsuit alleges. What the hell? What? And thank you, Pop-Tart King. Imagine the Saints Row reboot was a simulation in Saints Row 4. Hey, Stormbringer. Have I dealt with crappy customers in retail? Oh, of course. I made 2 videos on it. No, the mask is actually fine. The mask actually is not that difficult to breathe in. The worst mask that I've ever worn on a video that was actually very annoying to have on was the wolf mask. So when I played Payday 3. The wolf mask, that one was the most annoying one to wear. How do you know that much about countries' histories? I like to read a lot. Yes, I am gonna. A lot of people have been asking me for Ace Attorney investigations. Yes, we're gonna start it up this week. This week coming up, we're starting it up. We're finally starting it up. And I just have to. The only thing I want to do, I just want to wrap up. I want to wrap up Mercenaries and Yakuza before I start up Ace Attorney, and both Yakuza and Mercenaries are very close to finishing. I just defeated the 5 stars as Majima, and now I have to defeat the real estate billionaires as Kiryu and just finish up all their sub-stories, so very close to, finishing that up. cosplays have gotten very good. Thank you, dude. Wait, what are you talking about, Phoenix? Well, I never said that Brazil has the most militarized police in the world. I said it's one of the most militarized polices, Luca. But yeah, Brazil has a very militarized police, very, very much more than America's. And that's one thing that the that's one thing that people don't know about the story is that the oh crap, what did I just do? I just joined something. I hate sometimes a lot of the pop notifications that you're getting on your phone, and okay, let me get out of this here. Okay, good. I didn't get kicked out of the session. I love your history talks. Thank you. Do I collect video games? Yeah, I've almost never really sold any video games that I've gotten. So every video game that I've had, I still have in my collection. What country has the most militarized police in the world? Maybe either China possibly, or North Korea. But yeah, the police in Max Payne 3 are basically based on the police brutality in Brazil. Because Brazil has like a massive police brutality problem. And the thing is, people don't understand this when they're comparing it to America, because people think that like America has the most militarized police in the entire West, and they think that American police are the most amount of police shootings and the most amount of police brutality out of any police force in the West. But the thing is, though, is if you take a look at like American police and Brazilian police, right? Brazil has like a population of a little bit over 200 million people. I think it's like 214 million people. America is like 334 million people. So America has about 120 million more people than Brazil. So despite America having 120 million more people than Brazil, American police in the year 2024 killed a little bit over 1,000 people. In the year 2024, Brazilian police killed over 6,000 people. So the Brazilian police, despite having 100 million less people than America, have had 6 times more police shootings than police in America. And I keep hearing people say that American police are like the most brutal police in the world, which is not true. Hello, Pro. Mind if I join your session, please? Yeah, you can join my session. Thank you, Eric Cartman. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you, Agent Reaper, for the super chat, too. Thanks, man. Did I know the president of Brazil was friends with Fidel Castro? Lolo, you mean the current president of Brazil? No, I didn't know that. Is Russia's police militarized? Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Yes, I'll replay the Mafia games this year. Mafia, the old country, is coming out, what, June, July? That's when it's coming out. So yeah, I'll replay them. What's the difference between CIA and MI6? CIA is American, MI6 is British. What's my PSN? Polish mercenary, but I cannot add anybody during the stream. I can add you afterwards if you tell me what your PSN is.
Your car is the shit.
How can we help Alvinor here? Pro, why can't the Mexican police and army just stomp the cartels, since they're heavily equipped? One word. There is one word why the Mexican government is unable to stop the cartels. Does anybody know what this one word that I'm about to say is? Why they haven't stopped the cartels? Corruption, yep, you got it right. That is literally the primary reason why Mexico cannot stop the cartels. And do you know who has actually been the most effective at stopping the cartels in Mexico? The Mexican Marines. The Mexican Marines have done a way better job than the Mexican police. There's so much corruption in Mexico with the police, and the thing is though is that the corruption is very different than corruption, for example, in America, because in America corruption exists, but in America the corruption usually is not a conspiracy. In America, when there's corruption, it's usually like 1 or 2 cops at like a department, maybe even more, maybe like a sergeant is involved too. But like in Mexico, for example, you can have an entire police unit, including the chief, that is corrupt. So literally an entire police unit that could be corrupt. So that's primarily why, it's the corruption. There's actually a video on YouTube that you can watch. It's a pretty scary video. There's this cartel boss called El Mencho, and the thing about El Mencho is that the police started raiding his drug labs, and he had a bunch of corrupt cops in his payroll, and he got really pissed, and what he did was he called the police chief, and he even recorded the call of him calling the police chief, and he said to the police chief, like, this is El Mencho, he's like, what the F are you doing, why are you raiding my, drug labs, and the police chief says, I'm sorry sir, I respect you, I'll tell him to stop, you just look up the video on YouTube, cartel boss calls police chief in Mexico, and it's like the entire video, like the calls on YouTube. And so that's primarily the reason. It's the corruption. It's too much. It has to be stopped. Once you stop the corruption, the cartel you'll be able to stop the cartels. But that's the unfortunate thing. Is just the corruption is just so bad. How did it get on YouTube? I don't know. Somebody re-uploaded it. I don't know. I don't know how it got uploaded on YouTube. Oh, I played Alpha Protocol, yes. I remember. I actually liked Alpha Protocol. I thought it was a great game. It's the same... I'm pretty sure the same people that made Fallout New Vegas made Alpha Protocol. I'm pretty sure they did. So it was one of their RPGs. It was actually a really good RPG. I actually liked it. People complained about the gun combat, but the gun combat wasn't the best thing about Alpha Protocol. It was the RPG, the choices that you could make, the dialogue. That's what was the best thing about Alpha Protocol. So, I can ignore the bad gun combat as long as the story is good. What was the Rampart scandal? That happened in Los Angeles in the 1990s, where it was crashed. Basically, that's what Tenpenny is ultimately based on, San Andreas. Is the cartel more dangerous than the mafia? Yes, 100%. 100%. Here's the thing is, if you compare the Italian mafia to the cartels, right? The Italian mafia are like angels compared to the cartels. I'm not defending the Italian mafia, but I'm just saying, like, you compare both of them, what they've done, literally the mobsters are like angels compared to them. Love you, but I love to grief cargo too. Well, thank you for the super chat, but why do you grief cargo? Like, why would you do that to players? Yes, I'll do a Black Ops 2 playthrough. What do you know about Daniel Ortega? He's a dictator that first took power in Nicaragua from 1985 to 1990. He has since been back into power since 2007. Yes, Daniel Ortega, he was a revolutionary with the Sandinistas in Nicaragua. And there was elections in Nicaragua, and the Sandinistas, I remember, lost those elections really badly. He ended up rigging one of the elections in Nicaragua, which basically gave him a majority, and then he turned Nicaragua into a dictatorship. And also, here's a scary thing about Daniel Ortega. Daniel Ortega had his own brother arrested for criticizing him. So his own brother criticized him, and he had him arrested. So, like, that's what the dictator of the country did. So if he's willing to arrest and imprison his own family, everybody else, he doesn't care about them. He's a very cold-blooded guy. I would say he's even worse than the Cuban president. Yeah, I would say he's probably even more brutal than the Cuban president. Oh, I love The Sopranos. Oh yeah, Oblivion was a great game, but there's a rumor that Oblivion is getting a remake. I hope that that's true. Hey, what's up, Otto? When are you gonna make horror stories? Well, what do you mean by horror stories? Because I never really had anything like that happen to me. You mean like playing horror games and doing lore on that? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I would, London. What do I know about Swedish history? I don't know about Sweden that much as a lot of... I know Finnish history a little better. But about Sweden, I know that Sweden used to be with Norway. Norway, I'm pretty sure, broke away from Sweden. Sweden did used to be an empire back in the day. And Sweden got involved in a war with Russia. I think it was called the Great Northern War. And Peter the Great of Russia fought against Sweden in that war. He did, Sweden, the war initially went good for Sweden, but then ended up going bad. Sweden's empire collapsed over time, and Sweden, I know, was also neutral during World War II. That I also know about Sweden.
We selling?
Do I like Norway? Yeah. Yeah, I could live in a country like Norway. I like the cold generally. I like, colder climates. So I could definitely live in a country like Norway. Impressed about your knowledge about history. Thank you, dude. You like the cold? I despise it where I'm at in Illinois. Oh, I've been to Illinois a few times. I've been to Chicago. Hey, Pro, I'm sorry I haven't been able to catch your streams lately. I've been working 16-hour shifts at the Pisswasser Factory, love you, hope all is well. Wait, you're talking about the beer company in GTA? Thank you, Amateur, for the super chat. But you don't have to apologize, dude. You know, come by the streams whenever you want. Your criminal mastermind videos helped me out a lot. I'm glad they did, dude. What do I think of Florida? I generally like Florida. It's low taxes, no state income tax, very affordable state. But I would not live in Florida, and the reason is it's too hot. I just cannot take the humid, the heat, you know, stuff like that. Your content is amazing. Thank you, dude. I'm bad with heat as a Norwegian. Yeah, and that's what people don't know is that people that are used to very hot climates don't do well in climates that are very cold. But also people that are used to very cold climates don't do very well in climates that are very hot. Like, for example, people think that the Russian army is this invincible army in the winter, but what happened is when the Soviet army was actually in Afghanistan, in the summertime, in the provinces that aren't the mountains, a lot of them were getting heat stroke. So they were not able to handle the heat in Afghanistan. Florida, whatever happened there? You're making fun of The Sopranos with that, that line. Claude vs. GTA Online protagonists. Versus the Joker. Who's, who's the most evil? I would say probably Claude, because there's only one version of Claude, where Joker actually has several versions of him. I think the best biker sale is the Pounder truck, but yeah, Buzzards are also a great sale too. Do I know much about Polish-Lithuanian history? A bit. I know about the Sejm, which was the Polish-Lithuanian parliament, and there was the Imperium veto, where basically I would say the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth's parliament has got to be the stupidest parliament in history. It literally has to be the dumbest parliament ever, you know, in history. And the reason I say the Polish-Lithuanian parliament was so stupid, it was the worst parliament in history, is because if in that parliament, how it worked, you didn't elect the people to the parliament. The people in the parliament were actually aristocrats. So they were the elites. And what happened is, the parliament had to have a unanimous passing. The parliament had more power than the king, and the parliament's vote had to be unanimous. So if you had 100 people in the parliament, and 99% of people voted one way, if only one guy voted the other way, it couldn't pass. So it had to be a unanimous vote every single time. And what happened was, the Poland's rivals, like Austria, Russia, Prussia, what they did was they started buying out some of these aristocrats. And they would tell them, oh, you know, vote no on this, vote no on this. And only took one guy to vote no. And what would happen is, they bankrupted Poland, they bankrupted the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth's military was a joke at that time. The reason it was such a joke was because of the parliament, because the parliament literally allowed it to fall into such disarray. And whenever there was any kind of, you know, vote for approval for funding, they would block it. One guy would block it because of corruption. So it was like the most broken and corrupt parliament in history, probably. I'd probably say that. It was such a terrible parliament. So that's ultimately what caused the downfall of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, is it was the parliament. The parliament was such a disaster. It brought down the entire country. Can you tell Tom to get on his own bike? Oh, wait, you're doing a sale? Okay, Tom, can you grab the other bike then? Hey, Enclave General. In GTA 4, the guy said LCPD freeze. Mr. I said freeze. He's the same voice as GTA San Andreas Woozy and Midnight Club 3. Oh, I didn't know that. You mean the guy in the, when Johnny and Nico go to that drug deal with Playboy? Is that what you're talking about, Ancient Reaper? Thank you for the super chat. Can you add me after the stream, Homelander Beast? Yeah, I could do it, but it'll be later tonight. Thank you, Eric. Charlie, yeah. But Charlie probably wasn't his real name. That was just probably the cover name. Yes, I heard about Delta Force. Yes, and it's free to play. Thank you, Agent Reaper, for the super chat. I'm doing good, Enclave General. How are you? Hey, Professional, I'm not feeling so good for the past week. Why? What's wrong, Francisco? I know you're not too political, but don't you agree the echo chambers on both sides are getting absolutely ridiculous, talking both internet and real life? Yes, yeah, I agree with you, Taylor. And, I will say this, is that the biggest problem with politics is not the arguing, not the disagreeing, because you're supposed to argue, you're supposed to disagree in politics. But it's the fact that people are not willing to even sit down and talk with people. And both sides do this. So, you know, both sides are really bad in this. But the problem is that both sides literally think the other is evil. So literally that's how it is both sides think the other is evil. And I read some stories, you know, I read some horrific articles, like around Thanksgiving, where people were not inviting their family members to like Thanksgiving because they voted differently than them, which is one of the stupidest things ever. It's like Thanksgiving is supposed to be like a holiday where, you know, the entire family is together. You're supposed to be spending time with your family. It's about being thankful for what you have, and the fact that somebody would do something like that, like not invite a family member just because they voted differently, it's one of the stupidest things that I've heard. Okay, then Joker versus the GTA Online protagonist. And thank you, Taylor Stone, for the super chat. Joker versus the GT Online protagonist. GT Online protagonist would win. The amount of stuff he has, Orbital Cannon 2. Bro, why did the Nazis treat people in France differently than people in Poland? Yeah, that's something that people don't know about, is that the Nazi occupation of France, while it was brutal, it was not as brutal as the Nazi occupation of Poland. The Nazi occupation of Poland was much worse. And the reason that the Nazis were not as brutal in France as they were in Poland is because the Nazis did not see Polish people as people. That's the primary reason. Because the Nazi objectives for both France and Poland were very different. So when it came to France, for example, you had France split up into two areas. The northern part of France was the German occupation zone, and the southern part of France was Vichy France, which was, you know, controlled by Germany, but it was a French fascist puppet state. Now, the Germans treated Western Europeans very differently than Eastern Europeans. Western Europeans, like the Dutch, the Belgians, the French, the Norwegians, the Germans had basically planned to Germanize them over time. And what they were going to do is they were going to basically get rid of their language over time. They were going to have them speak German over time and just force them to basically become Germans. But in Eastern Europe, on the other hand, the Nazis did not see Slavs as people. So the Nazis saw the Western Europeans as Aryans, but they didn't see the Slavs as Aryans. They saw them, as not as even people. And so the Nazis considered Slavic people to be inferior to them. They hated Russians, they hated Belarusians, they hated Ukrainians, they hated Poles, they hated anybody from the Balkans, and they looked down on them. And so the Nazis' plan in Eastern Europe was they were going to basically exterminate the entire Slavic population, and they were going to deport the rest of Siberia and enslave any that are still alive in Eastern Europe. That's basically what they planned to do. So that's, if you ever play the game, I'm trying to remember the name of the game. There was a World War II game that I played. It took place in both Poland and France at the same time too. War Mongrels. That was the name of the game. War Mongrels. It's actually made by a Polish studio. And in War Mongrels, you play as a bunch of Polish resistance members. Mostly, most of the characters are Polish resistance members. But what happens is there's one part in the game where you get information about a concentration camp, and you try to get that information to the Allies in like Western Europe, and so you basically you go all the way through like Western Europe to like France, and when you get to France, when you're in France itself, the characters are commenting that the occupation in France is not as brutal as the occupation in Poland, and that's like one of the games that like basically showed that. It showed that the Nazi occupation in Poland was, much more brutal. And the Nazis did horrible things in France, don't get me wrong. The Nazi occupation in France was brutal, but when you compare like the Nazi occupation in France to the Nazi occupation in Poland entire cities were destroyed intentionally. So like Warsaw, the entire city of Warsaw was intentionally destroyed. 250,000 Polish people were murdered in Warsaw during the Warsaw Uprising. So that's basically it, is that the Nazis were planning to Germanize, Western Europeans, but Eastern Europeans, they basically saw them as animals, and they were going to kill all of them. What about Italians? Well, the thing about Italians is that the Nazis did not see them as Aryans. They were the Italians. The Italians had a very weird title. So the Italians weren't considered Aryans by the Nazis, but they were considered honorary Italians. So the Nazis had a specific policy that if they were allies with a certain group that was not considered Aryan, they called them honorary Aryans. So the Italians were called honorary Aryans. The Japanese were called honorary Aryans. That was basically that's basically the titles that they gave them. So it's weird, but the Nazis did look down on the Italians, and the thing is the Nazis the Italians and the Nazis, even though they were allies, they didn't like each other. So Mussolini actually originally planned on allying with Britain and France, years before he allied with Germany. But then when he saw how strong Hitler had gotten, he decided to ally with Hitler. So, Mussolini was not a good guy, but he was, Mussolini and Hitler did not necessarily like each other either. So they were allies, sure, but they weren't friends, I would say that. Oh, it's motorcycles. Okay, good. No post-op here. If you play the game Sniper Elite 3, for example, in Sniper Elite 3, there's a lot of scenes of German and Italian soldiers arguing with each other, and the scenes that are in the game, it actually shows you the hostilities between Italian and German soldiers. There's one scene in Sniper Elite 3, because it takes place in North Africa, where there's this big fort, and the Germans have basically taken over the fort, and it's the middle of the night, and it's getting really cold in the desert. So it's winter in the desert, and it's getting cold, and so the Italians are forced to sleep outside in these small tents, and the Germans get to sit inside in the warm fort. And that scene was pretty realistic because stuff like that definitely happened. There was actually There was a story. What happened was, the a really messed up thing that happened is that there was German soldiers that robbed Italian soldiers at gunpoint during the Battle of Stalingrad. So like during the Battle of Stalingrad, when like the winter was kicking in and they were running out of supplies, the Germans, what they did was they robbed the Italians and they took the Italians' trucks and just left the Italians there to freeze to death. So that's basically how they treated their allies. They just robbed them of their trucks and just basically left them there to freeze to death. Would you say the mission Copland in GTA Vice City is the worst mission in GTA Vice City? Yes. The driver is also really bad, but I think Copland is the worst one. I would agree with you. I think Copland is the worst mission in Vice City. Was Hitler inspired by Mussolini? In a bit, yes. He was inspired by Mussolini's ultranationalism, but his ideology was very different. The only similarities between Germany and Italy during World War II is they were both ultranationalist countries. So their ideologies were both ultranationalist, but their ideologies itself were different. When are you gonna play Wildlands? Later this year. I'll play it. What all fascist Spain? Well, Spain is the last fascist country that ever existed. So it was the final one. It collapsed in the 70s. So it was the final fascist country that ever that existed in Europe. Well, I guess you could probably make the argument that South Africa was fascist too, and Rhodesia, but Spain itself was the last fascist country in Europe to exist. Now, about Spain, Spain, Germany, and Italy, both Spain, Germany, and Italy were fascist countries, but their ideologies were different. So they were all fascist, but the difference is Italian fascism was based on the ideals of ancient Rome. It was based on the ideals that, like, Italy was going to be this giant, big, powerful empire, was going to, control all these colonies of land in Africa and, control Albania and Greece. So Italy's fascism was not based directly on race, where Germany's fascism was obsessed with race. Like, their whole system of fascism was just obsessed with race. It was all about the Aryan race. Spanish fascism was obsessed with Catholicism. So Spanish fascism was linked directly to the Catholic Church. It was like a form of Catholic ultranationalism. That's pretty much what it was. So Spain was a, religious fascist country. Germany was a racial fascist country, and Italy was a, I guess based on the ideals of the Roman Empire. So all of them were different. Oh, can we help Brandon here? Okay, I got mugged just now here. Was the US or the USSR more responsible for the Cold War, and what was the worst thing both did to contributing to it? I would blame the Soviet Union more for the Cold War than the US, because the Soviet Union was trying to constantly spread communism to other countries and was trying to instigate revolutions in other countries constantly. So I think America definitely has some blame for the Cold War too, but I would put most of the blame. I would put it on the Soviet Union. And also, here's the thing: is you have to look at how both the Soviet Union and the U.S. treated Europe. So literally, is the U.S. liberated Western Europe mainly from the Nazis. The Soviets were the ones who mainly liberated Eastern Europe. But how did both the U.S. and the Soviet Union handle those territories afterwards? The U.S. freed those countries. You know, they gave those countries back to their people. Their people formed governments. You know, they had new elections in the countries. The U.S. didn't interfere. They didn't rig the elections. The Soviet Union, on the other hand, Stalin promised free elections, but he just rigged all the elections in Poland. And what the Soviets did in Poland is they did an amnesty. So, like, if you were an anti-communist, they did an amnesty. So, if you came forward, you would be, like, cleared of all charges. And, like, over 1 million people came forward that were, like, anti-communist, and they were all arrested. So, literally, that's what the, how the Soviets literally ran Eastern Europe afterwards. So, I would blame mostly the Soviets for the Cold War. I know America wasn't perfect. You know, the CIA did some horrible things, sure. You know, a lot of coups and intervening in other countries, but the Soviet Union did some, you know, really, really bad things, and I would personally blame them mostly for the Cold War. Now let's get to the motorcycles here. Do I think the moon landing was fake? No. If the moon landing was fake, the Soviets would have exposed it. The Soviets would have done everything in their power to expose it. That's what people don't think about. Is communism and fascism the same, or a myth? They're different ideologies, but if you ask me, is communism and fascism like two sides of the same coin? Yeah, in a way, because they're both authoritarian, you know, ideologies. You know, they're both authoritarian ideologies. They're both brutal dictatorships. You know, you don't have any personal freedom under it. In both societies, in both a fascist and a communist society, the state, you know, the government dominates your life. The only difference I would say is that in a fascist country, there's a little bit more free market, but it's still tightly controlled by the government. Where under communism, there is no, you know, free market whatsoever. So literally, they're both authoritarian systems. They're both brutal dictatorships. Thank you, Azivus. Thank you for sponsoring the channel. Thank you, man. Do you know about the Iran-Contra affair? Yes, that happened in the 80s, and that was where the Reagan had tried to sell weapons to the Iranians to basically fund the Contras in Nicaragua who were fighting against the Sandinistas in the Civil War, and that whole thing was exposed. Well, people say that fascism is different than Nazism, but fascism is basically ultranationalism. You know, it's ultranationalism. That's pretty much what fascism is. And the Nazis are a form of ultranationalism. So I would say that Nazism is a form of fascism. The thing is that the Italians, their party was called the Italian Fascist Party. That's what their party was called. The Nazis were called the National Socialist German Workers' Party. So they didn't have fascist in the name directly, but it is a form of fascism. Do I think GTA 6 is getting delayed? No. Unless Rockstar says it's getting delayed. So don't believe these stupid YouTubers that are spreading around misinformation until you hear it directly from Rockstar. When you hear it directly from Rockstar, then you'll know that it's delayed. But until then, just believe that it's not getting delayed. Thank you, Captain Beastwinger. Which is more funniest? Angry phone call in GTA franchise, Salvatore yelling Carl, or Ray Bolgren? Ray Bolgren yelling at Luis is probably the funniest one. Yeah, that was really funny. Yes, Dead Rising 2 I'll play, and I gotta play Case Zero too. I gotta play that. I wish the post-op vans were replaced with those, but... Okay, Brandon, send me an invite to your, this summer is probably the last update, yes. Have I visited Indiana? Um, yes, I visited Indiana before. I've driven through Indiana. I haven't really spent much time there. Thoughts on the Battle of Mogadishu? You're probably talking about that in reference to Delta Force, aren't you? The new game that just came out is getting really popular. But about the Battle of Mogadishu is Mogadishu when the U.S. got involved in Somalia. That's probably one of those times where U.S. intervention was justified, because the U.S. has gotten involved in a lot of really dumb conflicts, but in that one, the intervention was kind of justified. Uh, Basically, what happened? The reason that the U.S. got involved in Somalia. So you have to understand Somalia's history first. Somalia was a communist country that was in Africa. So when people think of communist countries, they typically think of, like, Soviet Union, Eastern European countries, or they think of North Korea or China. But there was a few communist countries that were in Africa, like Ethiopia, Somalia, Angola. But anyways, what happened with Somalia is Somalia invaded Ethiopia, another communist country. And Somalia was basically trying to, like, conquer this one part of Ethiopia. I don't remember the region that they were trying to conquer, but they were trying to conquer one part of Ethiopia that they claimed was theirs. Ethiopia fought back against it, and what happened was the Soviet Union got pretty pissed off at Somalia and started supporting Ethiopia with weapons. Now, the U.S., what did the U.S. do? The U.S. started supplying Somalia with weapons, and it was like a really weird war. And the reason it was a really weird war is because you had two communist countries that were fighting each other, and the U.S. had supported one communist country invading another communist country just to piss off the Soviet Union. That was, like, the main reason the U.S. had supported Somalia in that. It was just to piss off the Soviet Union. And what ended up happening is the Ethiopians ended up winning that war. The Somalians, invasion of Ethiopia was a complete disaster. But what happened is, shortly after that, both communist governments collapsed. Ethiopia's, communist government collapsed, but Ethiopia was somewhat able to remain stable still. It's not a very rich country, but it didn't have a total collapse. Somalia, on the other hand, had a total collapse. So, like, that war had brought their economy to the brink of ruin. Their entire country had collapsed, their economy had collapsed, and they had, fallen apart. And that's basically the reason that Somalia is an anarchy today. It has no government, is because of that war. Because after that war, when Somalia tried to invade, when they tried to invade Ethiopia, after the war, it was a disaster, and the war bankrupted their country. Their government completely fell apart, and what happened was you had all these militias and all these warlords that started going around saying, we're the new leader, we're in charge now, and basically just started mass murdering people, and they killed, like, so many innocent people. And these warlords would, like, do ethnic cleansings in Somalia. Now, what ended up happening was the U.S. sent Red Cross people to Somalia, and the Red Cross were escorted by American soldiers. I don't remember the unit that was involved in that, but it was like American soldiers were protecting the Red Cross while they were giving out aid and helping people. Now, what happened is when the U.S. soldiers left the area, the warlords started attacking the Red Cross. So, like, when the U.S. was there, they weren't doing anything, but when the U.S. left, the warlords started attacking the Red Cross. And then at that point, the U.S. got involved, and it was pretty much to bring down these warlords and bring down these militias. And then you had the situation of Black Hawk Down. A helicopter got shot down, and it was just a really, really bad situation. And the Battle of Mogadishu was really brutal because it was a lot of house-to-house fighting, a lot of close quarters. So it was a so I would say probably Somalia is probably like one of those interventions where it was kind of justified for the U.S. to get involved to get rid of these warlords. But Somalia to this day is still a anarchistic country. Ethiopia was a communist country, yes. Well, I'm not gonna get involved in that whole conflict, Luca. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the whole Israel-Palestine thing because I'm not on Israel's side. I'm not on Palestine's side. I'm on the side of peace. I just want the killing and the violence to end. People that support both sides have gotten pissed at me for saying that, but that's basically my position. Is I'm completely neutral in that, and I don't support either side in that conflict. I just want the violence and the killing to end. fun fact, Max Payne 3 was originally going to set in Russia. It would have been interesting to see Max in Moscow fighting the Russian mob like the second game. Maybe they could make a spin-off that takes place in, you know, Russia, but it would it'd have to be a new character, not Max, though. Thank you, Damos, for the super chat. Thank you, Z Huss, for the super chat, too. Kind of disappointed in Max Payne 3 not killing Anthony DeMarco. Well, Anthony DeMarco did probably die. He got involved in the, you know, the Punchinellos had a war with the DeMarcos. Kind of disappointed in Max Payne. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Agent Reaper, for the super chat. As in his rally, I can get you. I don't agree, but yeah. Well, thank you, Nico. What are your plans for GTA 6? Like, are you planning to play through the game for the first time on YouTube, or do that in private and make your second playthrough on YouTube so you can give better lore and I'll do a playthrough of it on my first time, so you can see my reaction the first time. Thank you, Captain B-Swinger. Not enough people are taught about the pure evil committed by the communist Soviets towards the European civilians in Germany and Poland in 1945. Yeah, the Soviets committed a lot of atrocities in Eastern Europe and also in Germany after World War II, during and after World War II. There was a lot of women that had gotten raped by Soviet soldiers. And the Soviets did some horrific things in Poland. A lot of former Polish resistance members were murdered by the Soviets. Like the stuff in 63 Days. Yeah, 63 Days is inspired by true events. Stuff like that happened. What protagonist is the best in the GTA series? I would say Nico. Nico is probably my favorite one. Oh, I'm gonna upload a pretty funny video later this week. It's gonna be called Top 10 Ways to Kill Hitler in Sniper Elite Resistance. It's gonna be pretty funny when I upload it. Thank you, Z Huss, for the super chat. Bro, I watch you all day. Thank you, dude. Did the Soviets also not consider Poles people? Well, the Soviets considered Poles people, so it wasn't like the Nazis, where the Nazis saw Polish people as inferior to them, but the Soviets were gonna, put their own dictatorship over Poland. And if you didn't agree with the Polish dictatorship that they put in, you were their enemy. Thank you, Agent Reaper. Just noticed Vic GTA Vice City Stories and Luis GTA 4 is the same personnel, Dominicans, and doesn't want problems, just morals. But the difference, Luis can speak Spanish and Vic doesn't speak Spanish. I think Vic does speak Spanish. He just doesn't speak it. Am I gonna play the other storylines you mentioned in Max Payne 3? The multiplayer storylines, you mean? I would have to do a multiplayer video on that. What I might do is I might create an event, and I might make like a post, and I might tell people, we're gonna be playing Max Payne 3, this game mode at this time, on this day, and to see, if we can get like a lobby filled up. Does anybody here have Max Payne 3 on PC? So we could probably get like a lobby filled up and like do a Max Payne 3 multiplayer stream or video. Are the Max Payne servers down? Wait, are they still up or not? Do they work? Wait, is Max Payne servers down? I didn't know that. What character has the most chance of returning in GTA 6? El Rubio. Rubio, definitely. Thank you, Captain Beastwinger. We might see Roman there. They might, go with the canon that Roman was the one who, survived. Is the yacht really useless in GTA Online? No, I wouldn't say it's useless. It's a luxury. It's, it's something cool that you have in the water. Max Payne 3 is a multiplayer story? Yes, it does. It's a small story, but the multiplayer explains... There are certain things that happen in the multiplayer that take place after the campaign, Like, for example, the DeMarcos go to Panama to look for Max, and they get into a shootout with the AUP. That happens also, and also the Punchinellos attack the DeMarcos neighborhood. That also happens. I know the voice actor who plays El Rubio passed away. I know that, but what I'm saying is that they could still bring in the character. They might just have a different voice actor. I wonder how the DeMarcos found out Max was in Panama. That's a good question, too. I'm not sure. Maybe like a news report or something. Can Max Payne go back to America if the Punchinellos win the mob war between the DeMarcos? Yeah, but I don't think he wants to go back to America. I think America would also remind him a bit of his past. I think he probably retired in Brazil. Skate? Isn't that like a PS2 game? That final shot of Max Payne 3 was amazing. Thank you, Real. Jeez. Thomas, I told you at the end of the stream I can help you with your heist. You're just gonna have to wait. Sorry I'm late, bro. It's okay, Javi. You don't have to apologize. Come by whenever you want. Hey, Pro, can Sniper Elite I do kill Stalin or Mao? Oh, I'd love that. Like a kill Stalin or kill Mao mission, yeah. Also, here's the thing: is if Sniper the only way I could see Sniper Elite do a kill Mao mission is if they do Sniper Elite in Korea. If they do that, I can see them doing a kill Mao mission. But if they did something like that, I think it would be cool. But China would freak out. Like the Chinese media would freak out about that if they did something like that. In China, the Mao is considered a hero by the media and the government. Have you seen the show Snowfall? It's about the rise of the crack epidemic in LA and kind of feels like a prequel to GTA San Andreas, but similar in quality to Sopranos and Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. When was this show made? I gotta look into that. But I know why it's called Snowfall. It's probably a reference to the crack cocaine. That's probably why it's called that. Why are you backing up? Because you actually go up the hill faster backing up than you go forward. Is this the #1 worst sale mission? No, it's the #2. The #1 worst sale mission is the Titan mission where you have to fly low, selling 111 crates. That's the worst one. There's like helicopters that spawn chasing you. That one sucks. I can look into it. Snowfall, you said, right?
Your car! Ray!
Fucking
Is this for real?
Bill Clinton, pro, what's your thoughts on me? What? Oh. Is Gustavo Fring any better than Hector Salamanca? I would say Hector's worse than Gus. And the reason I would say that is because the difference, there's a difference between how Gus and Hector do business. Gus is a more manipulative person, and more straightforward to business, where Hector is just more aggressive and just tries to do everything by force. I would say that if you are working for like Gus and you do what he tells you to do, you don't question his orders, you know, you do a good job, he's generally going to take care of you and look out for you. But if you know, go against him, if he thinks that if you try to quit, if he thinks that you're going to be a potential liability, he's going to get rid of you. Hector basically treats everybody that's not part of his family like garbage. So that's what I'll say about the two of them. No, I haven't, Luca. I think it was just too big to put on the PSP with putting like a San Andreas map. Is Stalin considered a hero in modern-day Russia? Yeah, for the most part, I would say. Russia has removed exhibits on Stalin's atrocities in museums. So stuff like that has happened. There's a difference, though, is that there's a difference between how Russia handles Stalin and how China handles Mao. In Russia, you're generally allowed to criticize Stalin. Like, I've seen Russians criticize Stalin before. But in China, there's no criticism of Mao whatsoever. Nothing. You cannot do that. Hi everyone, sorry I'm late. Oh, you don't have to apologize for being late, dude. Well, Watch whenever you want. What is the worst mission in GTA 4? Some people say it's the snowstorm, but I don't know. I don't think GTA 4 really has any bad missions.
Excuse me.
Actions speak louder than words, the worst in my opinion. What do you do in that mission again? Remind me. What do you do in the mission? I could maybe Kiaris. Yeah, but they were focused on GTA 4 being in the you know, new thing on PS3 demos.
I should be doing period dramas.
I'll do money guides on GTA 6 when that comes out. Yes, I will. Have I heard of Penguin's Zero? Yes, I've watched videos of him. Charlie, right? What's the most powerful crime organization in New York these days? Probably the Gambino family. They still exist. Oh, that mission, the Gerald mission. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, you follow the Ancelottis and then you... Okay, yeah. Ancelottis, you follow them and then you blow up the car when they're meeting with the Albanians. I remember that mission, yeah. Yeah, kind of, Nicholas. Do you think that police training causes the police brutality due to a questionable training? I think that... I think if you have bad police training, you're gonna have a lot of cases of police brutality, but police brutality also is because of corruption, too. Corruption and also racism plays a factor in it, too. So there's yeah, so I would say that it's... A lot of it is corruption and not proper training. What Raiders? Who are you talking about, Lendon? Can we get everyone in my nightclub at the end of the stream so I can get an award for the player visits and by extension to tier 4? Okay, minifig. Thank you for the super chat. Pro, if I ran again, will you be my VP, Bill Clinton? No, I don't. I don't do politics. Pro Manhunt 1 or 2. Also, would another game work? Which Manhunt game was my favorite? I would say I like Manhunt 2 better because I just like the in Manhunt 2 I like the engine better, like the way the game was running. Thank you, V's Zer Seti. It's possible the cop also at the start of the mission tipped off the Silva gunner. Anyone in the session want an editor made photo? I think I'm good, but thank you, True Evil. Do I prefer Cash or Lamb as a protagonist? Probably Lamb. Lamb talks a lot more. It was probably because of GTA 4 and the PSP could not handle the San Andreas map. Well, first the first lore video that I make on Max Payne 3 will be on the Human Organs Doctor. It's gonna be a very short one. It's actually gonna be a short. It's gonna be a 1-minute lore video on him. My favorite Max Payne game, Max Payne 3. I just like the graphics and the shooting in Max Payne 3 the most. What do you mean by weapon limits in Max Payne 3? You mean how you can only carry, like, you know, 2 handguns and a primary weapon? Oh. Yeah, I liked Max not having this giant arsenal too. Captain Beastwinger, I hope GTA 6 is more of a focus on Jason and Lucia rising up in the criminal world and not mainly this big heist and FIB nonsense. Yeah, I want the story to be focused on crime. I don't want, you know, this ridiculous, crazy FIB, IA conspiracy that they had. Yeah. Which is worse, organ transfer or human smuggling? Well, human smuggling is not the same thing as human trafficking. Human smuggling is when somebody pays somebody to smuggle them. Human trafficking is when somebody is kidnapped and moved against their will. So human trafficking is basically moving kidnapped people. Human smuggling is when somebody pays somebody to smuggle them. But the human organs trade is like one of the most disturbing, disgusting, and evil, criminal businesses. Why Brink specifically, Wasabi Guy? I have to play the Judgment games one day, Gunner. What's the worst game I ever played? Probably Brink. It was a bad game. Brink, the enemies had like aimbot accuracy. The guns weren't that well. The parkour was fun at first, but yeah, like the AI got really annoying. Kenny Petrovich, yeah, he could be in GTA 6. Wait, what do you mean by that, Zersetti? Oh. Yes, one day, Chris.
Cryptocurrency.
Oh, that's what it meant, Zersetti. What's my ranking of all the GTA games? I think the best one is GTA 4. Second best would probably be San Andreas. Um, Vice City. Vice City Stories. Chinatown Wars. Liberty City Stories and GTA 3. Should Rockstar stop making 100% gold completion on GTA and Red Dead? It's so annoying to have perfect accuracy and skipping cutscenes. I don't mind if they have, like, the gold, you know, completion things, but don't have the cutscene as part of the timer. Like, that for me, that's really stupid, because some of those missions, you cannot get the time unless you skip the cutscene. And so what's the point of even having the cutscene if you're doing that? So, I just don't think the cutscene should count towards the timer. Thank you, Mr. Jesus. Hey Patrick, out of all the characters in the McJugger, a Psycho series, who do you think is the biggest scumbag that caused the downfall of the family? Psycho Dad Jeffrey Sr. or Psycho Kid Jesse? To be honest with you, Isaiah, I don't know, because I don't really watch that series. I could watch some of those videos if you want me to, but I don't really know much about that. Yeah, I know about that, Luca. The AUC are some really, really bad people. You know what game I'm going to do a playthrough of this year, guys? You know what game I'll do a playthrough of? I'll do a playthrough of Ride to Hell Retribution. And I know some people are like listening to me saying that, and they're like, oh god, no. No. That's like, I know some people are probably saying that. But I'll do a playthrough of it. And I'm going to do a playthrough of it just because of how stupid it is. Thank you, Quickscopes, for sponsoring my channel. Thank you. Thank you, dude. Thank you, man, for being a member of my channel for over a year. Thanks, Quickscopes. When did he do that? Wait, you're talking about last week, Toxic? He destroyed Toxic stuff again? Thank you, Christine, for the super chat. Wait, what? Toxic, what's going on? Can you message me, again on the phone? He did it again today? What? When did this happen?
You idiot!
Toxic, did Tom ever help you get back your cargo? Like, did he offer to help you with your businesses? Oh, no, it was an incident that happened last week. We had a guy who blew up cargo last week on a stream. But he was supposed to help him get his cargo back. It's hard to hear me? No, it wasn't a stream sniper. It wasn't like that, London. Toxic, if you have a clip of it, of him destroying your cargo, clip it and send it to me on PlayStation. You can also, like, you know, go back, like, the clips, like, 30 minutes or even an hour, Okay. Minifig, don't kill him too, don't, I thought he was gonna help Toxic get his cargo back, Ryu. That's what I thought, Do you think they'll revisit Liberty City in future GTA games? If so, what would you like to see from that story and map this time around? More stuff that you can buy, like more properties and stuff like that, like more interiors that you can enter. Well, no, I didn't know that, Gunner. You left one of the motorcycle clubs and you was marked for death and you were defending yourself?
Excuse you, asshole. This place is fucked.
Tom, did you help Toxic with his businesses? Did you help him with that after... No, I don't think the Russian Mafia killed Nico. No, I don't think so.
Man, this place is pretty fucked up.
Oh, please.
Let's play some hoops later.
Double Down Burger at KFC? Well, Tom, you have to help Toxic get his cargo back. I cannot help you with your heist until you help Toxic get his cargo back. You were supposed to help him last week too and reach out to him. Oh, hey Joker for life. Hey man, how are you? Wait, what, Javi? Did you get my message from a while that I sent you, Pro? What on? You sent me? Was it on Skype, Joker? That's gonna be near the end of the year, Gunner, because I have to play through more of the Yakuza games too, and I want to put one Mafia character on there too on that list, on those videos. Okay, well, Toxic, Tom said that he sent you something. Oh, can you message me again, Joker, and I'll reply to you. I'll reply to you later tonight. Can you just message me one more time on Skype, and I'll reply to you later tonight. Hell, Brandon. But yeah, please, please keep, Tom, please keep any drama out of, and guys, this, you know, drama out of chat. Tom, reach out to Toxic and help him with his businesses. That's what you gotta do. I just really don't like, I just really don't like dealing with drama. Well, Javi, there was an incident last week where cargo got destroyed, and he was supposed to help Toxic. That's basically what that's about. But now I found out that he didn't. So it's But yeah, I'm not gonna talk about this anymore. Tom, don't kill anybody. Nobody kill Tom. That's just Tom. You have to help Toxic get his cargo back, and once you help Toxic get his cargo back, and you're good with Toxic, and Toxic is happy, then I will help you with your heist. But that's probably now going to be next week. So, such good leadership skills, Pro. You should be my VP, Bill Clinton. What? Guys, make sure to check for undercover cops in this one. I'm going to B. B is mine. I'm good, Joker. How are you? I could fixate it. No, we're helping sell an acid lab business right now. Shouldn't be any cops. Well, some of these have cops, some of these locations here. I remember when this update came out over 2 years ago, there was a lot of misinformation. And there was like YouTubers that were saying that during this mission that, oh, it doesn't matter, you know, where you drop off the the acid, but it actually does matter in these locations. Like, you have 3 choices. Some of these locations have an undercover cop hidden, so let's see if there's an undercover cop hidden in this one. So, like, sometimes they're hiding somewhere here. Let's see if there's one hiding. Yeah, there is one hiding right there. See it? That is the undercover cops right there. They're hiding. If I plant the acid right here, the cops are going to go after me. If I plant it right here, I'm pretty sure the cops are going to go after me too. So I have to go here. So if you see that car, that's how you can avoid cops in this mission. A lot of people just place it in the first place they see and they get cops, but I shouldn't get cops if I place it right here. Let's see. What? True evil white? No, you don't do that, dude. Oh man. I'm gonna get cops when you blow them up. Okay,
Hey, what's up? How can I help? I take it this isn't purely a social call. Of course not. You're in trouble and you need my help. No problem.
okay. There we go. I'll leave the area. Okay. No, this is Acid Lab. Why did I give up on joining law enforcement? Thank you, Captain Beastwinger. It's a, sorry, I've never actually sold acid in a group now. It's okay, dude. Don't worry about it. It's fine. True evil. It's not a big deal. Okay, well, Toxic, I guess look at what Tom sent you, but, Tom, this is the last time I'm getting involved in this. I'm not, I don't get involved in drama, sorry. Get out of here. I've pretty much been everywhere in this map, yes. Do you know any medieval history? Nah, I don't know that much medieval history. The only thing I know a little bit about is the 100 Years' War between England and France, but other than that, I don't know that much. For those FIB, I don't know. They're undercover cops, I know that. I think they have the FIB models, yeah.
Okay.
If the first 48 was a video game, would you play it? You mean the detective show? Is that what you're talking about? Your bunker, okay. You mean when England and Scotland became a country? You mean Britain? I know it's Plato Bunker. Oh well. No, I didn't get that text message from Ron. When are the vehicles coming out? Like the new vehicles and the Mackenzie Airfield business? When is that coming out? Wait, what, Cassian? who was worse in your opinion, your old manager or the narcissistic coworker? The manager, because the manager, the narcissistic coworker, I didn't have to deal with him all the time, but the manager affected my schedule, what I was doing, a lot of stuff. So the manager was the worst. "16 months, wow, I always forget how much time goes by when I'm a member. Also, will you ever play any of the new Midnight Club games in the future?" Thank you for being a member of my channel for a year and 4 months, Stripes, thank you, dude. Yeah, and if I'm gonna play a Midnight Club game, I think I might want to start Midnight Club 3, because that Midnight Club 3 was a huge part of my childhood. How far is this? It's a bit of a drive, but not the worst. 4 miles. What the? Whoa. This summer is the final GTA update, yeah. That's pretty much it. I forgot to answer the law enforcement question by previous super chatter. Is it something you prefer not to talk about? No, I didn't forget to answer it. I got distracted by just a few other things that were happening in the game. But the reason I never went into law enforcement despite getting a degree in that is because I did really well on YouTube, and I realized that I don't really need I don't need to go into law enforcement. I can support myself through YouTube, and YouTube was something that I really enjoyed doing. And the thing is, though, is that my how I was when I didn't even want to go to college. So when I was finishing high school, I never had any plans to go to college. I didn't want to. I didn't really think I needed college. But what happened was my mom really pushed me to go to college, and probably the main reason I ended up going. And what happened was I did like a year at college, and my mom told me that after a year I'll know what I want to do, and then like another year passed, and I still didn't know what I wanted to do. So like 2 years passed at that point, and my mom was like, you should know by now, and I'm like, I still don't know. And I ended up doing I did business, and while I do like doing business today, I run a rental property business. I just hated taking business courses in college, and it just wasn't for me. But then I ended up taking I ended up taking history courses. I took a few of them. I tried to get a degree in history, but the history program at my college got canceled because it wasn't popular enough. I ended up doing a little bit on computer security systems, and then I ended up doing law enforcement technology, which is the degree ultimately I got, because I was going through all the degrees that my college offered. I ended up doing that one. And I guess I kind of did law enforcement technology because I was a little bit interested in law and law enforcement, but when I started doing YouTube and I started growing on YouTube, I really enjoyed what I was doing on YouTube. And when I was doing YouTube, that was probably the first time in my life that I was happy with a job, happy with just, the way I was making money and just the way that things were going for me. So I was pretty happy with YouTube, and ultimately I started investing more time into YouTube. I did start doing more YouTube, and that's ultimately how I became successful, is just working on YouTube and doing YouTube. And I would tell you that how can history not be popular in college? Ask the kids that. A lot of kids don't care for history these days anymore. But basically, I did really well on YouTube. I grew at an insane rate on YouTube. Like it was like insane. Like these days I get around like 1,000 subscribers, like between 500 and 1,000 subscribers like a month. But like back then, like I would say like 2018, 2019, I was gaining like 20, 30,000 subscribers like a month. Like it was like I was getting like 100. I was gonna get to like 100,000 subscribers like within like 3 months. Like so I was growing at like an insane rate, and I was doing really well. And then ultimately I liked doing that, and I said, you know what? I don't need to do law enforcement. I don't need to do that. I'm successful on YouTube. This is what I like doing, and this is what I'm ultimately gonna do. And at the same time too is I think that working in law enforcement probably would have taken a toll on my health. I think it would have taken a toll on my mental health, because like imagine having to deal with these psychopaths and sociopaths every single day. Dealing with these evil, horrible people. So that's what I'll say about it is, yeah, I can imagine that too. Yeah, and I would say also like the way the public treats law enforcement these days is the way the public treats law enforcement these days, I think, is really bad. Like the public and the media treat law enforcement very, very badly. Like they don't. They think that like cops are pigs, and all cops are just like bad people. Most cops are generally good people. There is there are bad cops out there, obviously, but most cops are generally good people. When GTA 6 comes out, I want a lot of features from GTA 4 to be in GTA 6, and I want to be able to do vigilante missions in GTA 6 like 4. Yeah, but you know what I hope the most to see, Stripes, is I hope that what GTA 6 learns from GTA 4 is the seriousness, like the dark, atmosphere of the story. I'd like to see that. DBZ will not let you destroy my world. What are you talking about, dude? Thank you for the super chat. And thank you, Stripes. How do you suggest people find their passion? I don't know, really. It's just the thing is, though, is that it comes to people at different times in their lives. Like some people know what they want to do from like high school. Other people don't know what they want to do with their life until their 30s. So it comes to everybody at like a different time. Eventually you figure out what you want to do, but it comes to everybody at like a different time. That's something Goku says in Dragon Ball Z. Oh, okay. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in a very long time. No, I haven't, Chase. Happy game? Look into that game. What even are those iceberg videos? I constantly get those recommended to me, but I don't even know what those are. Bro, what's your thought on retail returns? What do you mean, when people like return stuff in retail? There's so many scams in retail when people return stuff, so many. Who needed help with their heist, by the way? There was somebody that was fixated, right? It was fixated, and then it was Raccoon. Right? What job were you considering in law enforcement for YouTube? I wanted to be a detective. That's one of the reasons I enjoy detective games so much. $12.47, huh? Iceberg videos are the lore on said game or topic. Okay. Help find the island? What island? What are you talking about? Thank you, amateur. I saw one opening for detective at $100,000 a year plus pension and benefits. Not bad. It was near Seattle, though. The thing about that, though, amateur, is Seattle has very expensive living. So Seattle properties are very expensive, taxes are very expensive too. So 100,000 might seem like it's a good amount, but it really depends on the area. I'm not a complete expert on Seattle, but I know things can be pretty expensive there. Wait, did you need help fixated? You won't give me the green light? Wait, what are you talking about? What's that, Alendon? What's that, Trevor? If police come to apprehend a person, do you think they should try their best to correspond with them no matter how much they question or get into your face? Ooh. Well, if you're coming to apprehend somebody, it means you have an arrest warrant out for someone. PC's finally getting the expanded and enhanced upgrade for free next Tuesday. Did you notice any improvements to the current PS5 version besides the extra content? The frames are the biggest improvement. You know, 60 FPS makes a big difference. Like, I didn't realize how much 60 FPS is different than 30 FPS when I started playing GTA 5, because it's the FPS difference is so much different. Where's Fixated? What happened? And what happened to Raccoon, too? Hey, Pro, never got an opportunity to give you, kudos for playing Yakuza 0 and even running both of their businesses. You planning on playing Yakuza Kiwami next? I'm actually gonna put Yakuza Kiwami in a poll. There's a few games I'm gonna put in a poll, for next, for this month coming up. Thank you, Overkill. And thank you, Hide Kisses, if I'm reading your name correctly. Thank you for these super chat. Oh well, I'm gonna help him with help Toxic with one business here. Fixated. Tom, make sure that you help Toxic with every single one of his businesses, and if Toxic forgives you, then I'll help you with your heist next week. Oh, okay, Raccoon. thanks to your character videos, I always get annoyed when people don't know the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath. Like how some people call Trevor a psychopath and Claude a sociopath. Yeah. Yeah, there is, and here's the thing is, a lot of psychopaths are actually some very intelligent people. So psychopaths can be very, very smart people. They're not like stupid people. Like they're not, you know, stupidly insane people, like you would see like in movies. And I remember that there was a poll that was done on like CEOs, and it said that like America's CEOs, I think they said like more than half of America's CEOs have psychopathic traits. Which that it doesn't mean that they're necessarily psychopaths, but they have traits that a psychopath has. And so, are there CEOs that are psychopaths? 100%. So there are. So about psychopaths is psychopaths can be pretty intelligent people. They can be in very high positions of power. The best example of a sociopath that I can think of in the best example of a sociopath that I can think of in a in a TV show, a crime TV show, probably Tony Soprano. I would say, is Tony Soprano a sociopath? Probably. I would probably say so. He's definitely not a psychopath. There's people that he cares about. But the best example of a psychopath that I can think of, there are two psychopaths that I can think of. If anybody has ever watched the TV show Fargo, Lorne Malvo in season 1 is definitely a psychopath, 100%. Todd from Breaking Bad is a psychopath too. Yeah, he's a psychopath. Are there any other characters in crime shows that are psychopaths that I can think of? Yeah, nothing I can think of right now. Homicide Hunter. I used to watch Homicide Hunter of Joe Kenda. That was a pretty good show. I used to watch that back in the day. Ralph is not a psychopath. Ralph is not a psychopath because Ralph loves his son, so he's not a psychopath. But Ralph is definitely a sociopath. And honestly, I would say that Ralph is probably a worse human being than Tony. Yeah, I would probably say that. Oh, Anton, right? Anton is a psychopath too. Anton Chigurh. No, Tuco's not a psychopath. No, he's not. Gus Fring? No, Gus is not a psychopath. I'm gonna put Delta Force in the poll of the games to play. Yeah, it's a shame that the Homicide Hunter ended. I don't think it covered all of Joe Kenda's episodes. I will post that poll. I will post that poll near the beginning of March, or like later in this week. So check near the end of the week, Snake. Near the end of the week, just check every day for like my post sections. Like near the end of the week, I'll make that post, and I promise I'll put Metal Gear Solid 2 on the poll. Like I promise you, it will be on there. And I would say that Kenda is probably the best homicide detective that I've seen on TV. Out of a lot of the, because he's a real homicide detective. He was a former homicide detective. He is he I would say is probably the best the best detective. And the thing about Kenda is Kenda's personality is like perfect for a detective. He has a very cool, you know, cool-headed personality, and people think he's like a cold-blooded guy because he doesn't show much of a reaction to like seeing dead people. But he's used to it. He deals with it on a daily basis. He does have a good heart deep down inside, and he does care about the victims. You know, when he retired from the you know, law enforcement, he was a school bus driver. So he's a really good guy. No, Phil Leotardo is not a psychopath. There is only one character in The Sopranos who is a psychopath, and do you know who it is? Tony's mom. Tony's mom is a psychopath. No, John Sacramone is not a psychopath. He loves his wife Ginny. Help you with what, Wick? Okay, Toxic, you got a lot of people helping you here. Fixated, can you invite me to this? And Tom, make sure you help Toxic with all, help Toxic with all his heists. Wait, what's going on here, Mr. Wick? What do you need help with, Mr. Wick? I was gonna help Fixated with his heist next. Were German panzer divisions more effective in World War II? Well, German panzer divisions were very, you know, effective. But they didn't have the production that the U.S. and the Soviet Union had. So they weren't numbering that much. How many businesses are you selling, Mr. Wick? Let me help Fixated with his heist first here. Okay, and guys, what? It's full? Okay, well, if you're full, then that's it. That I guess they'll help you with your heist there, Fixated. I know Raccoon needed help with his heist too, but if Fixated is full, that's fine by me. Raccoon, are you still here? Do you need? Can you invite me? Todd cares about Uncle Jack. No, Todd respects Uncle Jack. He doesn't care about Uncle Jack. He respects Uncle Jack. That's the difference. Here's the thing: is psychopaths can respect and admire somebody, but they're never gonna care about them. So psychopaths can look up to somebody, but if they're gonna look up to somebody, it's usually somebody bad. Like Todd, for example, looked up to Walter. Like Todd looked up to Walter. Like he idolized him, but he didn't. I wouldn't say that he cared about him. It's not like it's a little difficult to explain, but psychopaths can admire somebody. And also, here's the thing: is when I'm looking at the comments, a lot of people in the comments are asking me, is this character a psychopath or this character isn't a psychopath? There's a very easy way to tell if any character is a psychopath. Very easy way to tell. The easiest way to tell if a character is a psychopath is, do they care about anybody? Because psychopaths do not care about anyone. Anyone, and I mean anyone, not even their parents. Even if they have kids, they don't even care about their kids. They don't care about their wife or husband. Nobody. Psychopaths do not love anybody. They don't care about anybody. So if there's a character in a video game or a movie and they don't love anybody, they don't care about anybody, they have no empathy, no emotion towards anyone, the only person they care about is themselves, they're a very cold-blooded person, they're a psychopath. So that's what a psychopath is. A psychopath is somebody who has no empathy for others. They are not able to empathize with other people. They don't, they have no emotions towards anybody else. That's basically what a psychopath is. Did Todd love Lydia or just he was attracted to her? That's what it is. Psychopaths can be attracted to people, sure, but you're not gonna love them.
They've got a call out for a maintenance crew. Looks like they have some serious issues. Take the van to the casino. Security will let you in. This is a pretty rudimentary con. I'll give you that, but you're not exactly the kind of crew who can walk in there and whisper sweet nothings into the manager's ear.
Oh, Dahlia is a psychopath. In Ace Attorney, she 100% is a psychopath. Psychopaths are very manipulative, so she's definitely one. Dahlia is probably the best example of a psychopath in Ace Attorney. The another psychopath in Ace Attorney is the Phantom. The Phantom, he's another psychopath. Yeah, he is. Claude is the most famous psychopath in the GTA series. And in the HD universe, Dmitry Raskolov is a psychopath. Is there any other video game characters that are psychopath that I can think of? Tom stopped helping Cell when you left. Did he really, Christine? Oh my god. Well, thank you for telling me. Thank you for the super chat.
I can't wait to work on the organic vegetable garden this weekend.
Thomas, you were supposed to help Toxic because you destroyed his cargo last week. You were supposed to help him with his heist. Is Miles Edgeworth a psychopath? No. What makes you think that? He's not even a sociopath. Miles Edgeworth is a good guy. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just puzzled by why you think that Miles is a psychopath. Joker is definitely not a psychopath because at times he cares about Batman. No, Joker is a psychopath. Joker doesn't care about Batman. It's weird. It's like the reason that Joker is obsessed with Batman, it's not like caring, it's more of like an obsession. It's because he feels that Batman completes him. It's because he feels that he has no purpose without Batman. Like, the way that Joker basically looks at it is he thinks,
This door should take you straight to waste
I'm the guy who's gonna be causing chaos and destroying the world, and Batman is supposed to stop me. That's how Joker looks at things. Joker is insane, and he basically he gets excited at Batman trying to stop him. So that it's like a rush for him. Like, you know, just this guy trying to stop me. That's pretty much what it's about.
Here comes the maintenance crew. You're going to the laundry room. Okay, straight out of the waste disposal, through the staff lobby, and the laundry room is straight ahead of you.
About time. Come on, this damn leak's got us sandpapered.
Oh, what the?
They're smarter than
What
we
just
thought.
happened?
Just get to the vault however you can. When you're ready, go back into the security area. You can get to
Okay,
the stairway
restart
through
this
there.
here.
It takes you down to the vault. We need to get your gear past security by smuggling it in via the trash chute.
No, Stripes. Playboy is just an, Playboy isn't a psychopath because what you hear from Dwayne is that back in the day he was really good friends with Dwayne. So no, I wouldn't say that. It's just more like he betrayed, Dwayne.
Here comes the maintenance crew. You're going to the laundry room. Okay, straight out of the waste disposal, through the staff lobby, and the laundry room is straight ahead of you. Okay, no one's gonna question.
About time. Come on, this damn leak's got us sandpapered. Hurry up. Don't worry about that detector. Just come on through.
Don't worry, metal detectors don't pick up ceramic weapons.
Are you a psychopath? No, I care about others. I have empathy for others.
You smell that?
I can think of in anime,
Come on now.
I can think of one character in anime that's a psychopath. If anybody has ever
Go back into the security area. You can get to the stairway through there. It takes you down to the vault.
If anybody's ever watched the anime Golden Kamuy, Ogata,
Control. Otherwise, it's the stairs.
Ogata, the sniper in Golden Kamuy, he's a psychopath.
Whoa.
Oh, great. Can't get in through here now. Oh, thank you. I gotta look into it. Thank you, Captain Beastwinger.
should be an access button in the security room if you want to try for the extra take.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jake, for the super chat. Great, how are we gonna deal with this now? Okay. Okay, ooh, there we go. Okay, swipe. Swipe it. No, I haven't seen the Penguin show. I haven't, B Swinger. Thank you for the super chat. Alex from Clockwork Orange is a psychopath. I don't know that show. No, Walter White, is he a sociopath? Yeah, no way.
So far, so bueno. Push on to the vault. Looks like the guard at the vault room isn't there. Happy days.
If they come to stop and search people, well, in America, we used to have stop and frisk in New York, but they got rid of it because it was seen as unconstitutional. Because the police can't really search you in not unless they have probable cause. That violates your Fourth Amendment rights. Is what that does. I'm getting everything on the left side once we open this.
Good, that's the left side taken care of.
I will talk to you later, Thomas. Is Uncle Ben from Spider-Man a psychopath? Why would you think that? Well, a lot of those police shows are very, very unrealistic. A lot of them, I can't watch them because they're really unrealistic.
Hey, that art looks expensive to me. Let's give it a new home. Good news. Seeing as we stayed under the radar, we have a little more time here. Now, your hacker can block the security sensors while you're in the vault, but only for a while. If the system goes quiet for too long, it triggers the alarm as a failsafe. And, did I mention that if the alarm goes off in here, they'll flood the place with nerve agent? No? in there. Try getting into some of the lock boxes.
I zoned out, sorry. It's okay, dude. Don't worry about it. If the police come to apprehend a person, do you think that they should try their best to correspond with them no matter how much? Well, it really depends. It really depends on the situation. I will tell you though that here's the thing: is if the police come to your house, in a lot of places you don't even really have to answer the door for them. If they don't have an arrest warrant, if they don't have a search warrant, you don't even really have to answer the door for them. It's your private home. But here's the thing: is if you're gonna talk to the police, right? Then what you do is make sure that you walk out on your porch and just close the door behind you. Just close it right behind you. That throws cops off a lot of times. They don't like when people do that, but that is the best thing to do in that. Just so cops cannot see inside your house. Not necessarily you're doing something illegal, but it's just it's just a violation of your privacy. And do not let them inside the house at the same time too. But I think that some cops can be really annoying. But I think if there's like cops in an area and they're like looking for somebody and they ask you for help, like hey, have you seen anybody? Like I don't see why people have such a hard time like telling them no, I haven't seen them, or yes, I have seen them. But like sometimes there are those YouTube people where they basically try to instigate the police, and like they pull out their cameras and they intentionally do stuff to piss off the police.
Seconds. 30 seconds.
15 seconds leave.
20 seconds left.
Okay, I'm leaving here.
Perfect. Now get out before they smell a rat. Gas incoming. 10 seconds. Time's up. Here comes the nerve agent. Get the hell out of there before you get a long fall. In and out.
Well, panicking is normal. When people deal with the police, they just get nervous. It happens.
We cleaned him out. Okay, let's see if we can
Swipe fixated.
as smooth as the way in. Get your key cards ready.
Well, Toxic, can you turn your offline mode off? Tom says he wants to help you. Silvio's more closer to a sociopath, and Silvio is loyal to Tony. A psychopath is never going to be loyal to anyone. Thank you, Captain Beastwinger.
All right, now stay calm. Back the way you came through the checkpoint. Nothing to see here.
No.
Okay, come on, we're leaving.
Get in the cargo elevator and use your key card. Play it cool.
Who is your favorite Fallout 3 companion and why? I guess Jericho. Jericho being like a stereotypical evil raider.
Okay, I need you to stay calm. They've seen what you did to the vault, and now the whole place is locking down fast. They know you're still in the building. Just keep moving and keep quiet. Time to change your outfits. We need a fresh start if you're gonna
Okay,
make
well,
it
we're
out
not
here
going
under the
through there.
radar. They're closing in on us. We need to pick up the pace. Security is sweeping the whole building. Stay one step ahead, or this whole thing goes south. We've managed to smuggle in your weapons through the trash chute. Go to waste disposal.
Thank you, Deadeye, for the super chat.
As long as you stay calm, those outfits should get you from here to the exit. The cops aren't letting anybody through the perimeter, so you'll have to do that the old-fashioned way. Good job, officers. It's about time you showed up. As long as you're in the casino, that outfit's a free pass. Slip out the side door and try not to act out of character.
Okay, let's leave here. My favorite superhero, I don't know if I really have one.
You should avoid the bulk of the cops this way. The only thing that matters is making it to your ride. Now, don't let them see you leaving. Remember, they know the vault's been hit, but they don't know who you are or where you are. They have patrols sweeping the whole place.
United States, Soviet Union, Germany, and Japan. Which battle was the worst for them in order?
Keep your cool and get to the buyer.
The worst battle... Are you talking about World War II, or are you just talking about in general?
Bring the cops and we're home free.
The worst battle in American history is probably the Battle of Antietam in the American Civil War. It was such a, I think the Battle of Antietam had the most amount of Americans die in any single battle. So in the Battle of Antietam, there was like these battles that were like in huge, large cornfields, and so both Union and Confederate troops would go through the cornfields, and they would like see somebody move, and they would open fire into it, and then they would realize they hit their own guys. So it was like really brutal battle. If you're talking about World War II, the worst battle that the U.S. had in World War II was the Battle of the Bulge. Yeah, Battle of the Bulge. I would say that also known as the Ardennes Offensive. That huge battle when Germany had tried to knock the U.S. out of the war, and so they launched this huge offensive on the U.S. It was in the Ardennes forest. It's that big snow battle that you see in a lot of movies and games. Let me see what other countries you have on this list here. The worst battle in that the Soviet Union ever had was Stalingrad. Yeah, Stalingrad was the worst one. Largest battle in human history as well was Stalingrad. Over 1 million soldiers died in the Battle of Stalingrad.
We don't have long before they have to tap out. Make the most of it.
Over 10,000 people died every day at Stalingrad. That's how insane the casualties were. The worst battle for Germany in their history is Battle of Stalingrad as well. Same battle. Japan.
The decoy is out.
The worst battle in Japan's history. Probably Midway, because even though Japan did not have that, they didn't lose that many people in compared to some of the battles that they had in China. The reason that Midway was the worst battle in Japan's history is because Japan's navy was crippled. They lost like 2 aircraft carriers. Yeah, Japan's navy was crippled in the Battle of Midway. Thank you, Fresh AC.
If the buyer hears so much as of private equity from private equity. That's something even the IRS has trouble doing. But you strolling out of there, carrying their crown jewels right under their noses. The ultimate humiliation. Oh, I've taken a whole lot of scores, but none of them has been sweeter than this.
Okay, here we go. 3 miles left. And, Raccoon, can you get your heist ready? Because I can help you with your heist right after this. Did I see a new anti-cheat thing Rockstar put on PC? You've got to install it before launching GTA 5 online. You have to install it, but it's funny because this anti-cheat actually worked. Did the anti-cheat actually work? I know there was a huge controversy about it, but the battle, is it Battle Eye? Is that the one? I remember I did a video on it. Did it Drifter? It did Drifter, kids? Has anybody here played on PC? Has the anti-cheat that Rockstar put in actually made a difference? Has it actually fixed PC? Kind of spoiler, the Penguin, but Oz betrays and master manipulates and kills a lot of people loyal to him. He's also kind of attached to his mom. So is he a psychopath or a sociopath? Well, if he loves his mom, he's not a psychopath. So a psychopath can't love anyone. Thank you, Captain Beastwinger. It did. I'm seeing much less cheaters and modders in lobbies compared to before, so at least there's somewhat going down in that. Why were Vietnam veterans mistreated? The reason that Vietnam veterans were mistreated is because I would say it was probably one of the reasons was probably because Vietnam was like the first major American war that the U.S. did not win in. That's probably one of the reasons. Second reason is I guess it was just the toxic culture that like the toxic culture of some of these protesters, because some of these hippie protesters, they talk all about love and peace, but they were really toxic towards the soldiers. I can understand being against the war, but like if you hate the soldiers, you're an idiot, because like a lot of the soldiers didn't even have a choice. They were drafted. And so the you know what the ironic thing about the Vietnam War is? The really ironic thing is that the people that were spitting at the soldiers, the people that were the most toxic to the soldiers, the people that hated the soldiers, were the college kids. And the college kids, most of them did not have to go to war in the first place. Because if you were going to college, you were a lot less likely to be drafted. If you showed the government proof that you were going to college, that you were getting a specific degree, you were a lot less likely to get drafted. And so those kids did not have to go to college, but the kids that didn't have to go to war, the college kids, but the kids that were not going to college were gonna get drafted. And so how stupid is that? That, you know, you get a free pass, you don't have to go to the war, but then you're gonna spit at the people that actually were forced to go to the war, and you're gonna call them like baby killers. And so that's what I say is that that environment itself got like extremely toxic, and Vietnam veterans were treated like crap. They were spit at. It was really bad. The worst U.S. World War II battle, Battle of the Bulge. Invite me, Raccoon. I'll help you for your heist now. Oh, aggressive. Interesting. Okay. I kind of find it weird that GTA 5 Online on PS3 got shut down, but you can get into a GTA 4 multiplayer game no problem. It's weird. The PC version got shut down, and it is kind of stupid that they did that. Make sure to remember the nightclub thing. Yeah, we'll do it at the end of this. At the end of the heist here, minifig. Okay, I'm ready, Raccoon. Let's do it. When is the hotel video coming out tomorrow? Gold, interesting. Okay. Do roof. Roof is best for aggressive. Just wanted to say, you're a great YouTuber. You have the best playthroughs. Also, I watched Red Dead Redemption 2 lore videos with the Pinkertons, the Revenue Men, and Dutch. I can't wait for the future Red Dead Redemption lore videos. Thank you, Aria Akiva. Thanks, man. And I think I recognize that. That's rupees, the currency, right? I think I've seen that symbol a lot of times, so... Thank you, Akiva. Pro, can you speak a bit of Spanish? Sí, yo hablo español. Yo estudio español todos los días. Mi español es muy malo. Yo quiero habla español.
Metaphorically speaking, of course, actual driving aggravates my hives. Anyways, the calm before the storm. Running through contingencies and backup plans in my mind. Feeling sweat patches creep down my back. Oh yeah, I've missed this.
What about Polish? Ja gadam dobrze po polsku. Umiem wszystko dobrze, ale nie umiem dobrze pisać. What that means in Polish is it means that I can speak Polish fluently, but I don't know how to read that well.
You're one well-placed explosive away from walking right into their inner sanctum and right back out again.
That was Polish, Alex. I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you ever seen a private army of
Anyone that's Polish understood what I just said.
Because you're about to get a
Pro, kocham twoje filmy. Thank you. It means he loves my videos.
That's the entrance. Follow the tunnel. It'll take you right down till you're on the same level. All right, everyone. Head into the tunnel, and we're just a medium-sized explosion away from the vault.
Oh, it's an Israeli currency? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was rupees for a moment. I'm sorry. Then my bad, dude. But thank you, Akiva. It's the shekels. Okay. I thought
Plant the explosive and let her rip.
I thought that was the rupee symbol. My bad then. I gotta look up what the rupee symbol is then, so sorry about that mix up.
And that is what we in the business call a goddamn entrance. Now get working on those guards. Shit. Cave in. Looks like we're gonna have to improvise another way out of there for you.
Man down. Justified homicide. Shit. Looking for trouble? Shit. We got intrusion.
Wait. This is an instant kill. That's what's good about these.
Into the line, you piece of shit.
Get to stepping out. Your mother was a oh. Necessary
Okay, move, go. Come on.
Hold up. The system here uses a two-man rule. You'll need to scan the vault access
Is Lucky
cards
Quinn in Watch Dogs a
simultaneously.
psychopath? 100%. Yes, he is. A beast swinger.
Get a job.
Very, very evil man.
Damn, gotta reload.
Oh, crap. Swipe again. Swipe.
You're going
Now everyone get through the man trap. Down the corridor.
How can I tell if a person is a sociopath? Sociopaths are a lot harder to tell than psychopaths. Psychopaths are actually,
Come on, let's go.
psychopaths are actually a lot easier to tell.
Card at the vault room isn't there.
Your Claude Lore video is one of my favorite videos. Thank you. Thank you, dude.
Make sure you plant them on both sides of the door. Let's only do this once. Okay, now it's a big
I'm getting
door,
everything
so
on the left
don't
side,
be stingy
Raccoon.
with the
You get everything on the right,
explosives.
and do not get what's in the middle until the end.
Everyone clear? Go!
Will the FIB and IAA be brought back in the GTA 6 DLC? Did they lowball us like, me enjoying the Skyline View TV GTA 5 stretch as a psycho? Thank you, Moose, for the, super chat. The IAA, I don't know if they'll be in the game, but the FIB definitely will be, 100%.
There's only so long our hacking team can delay it. And trust me, when that timer runs out, you're gonna want to be long gone. There's a set of lockboxes in here. Drill them if you've got the time, but I can't promise you they'll be...
I hate how I cannot pick up gold until the thermal charge. That's one thing I hate there. Okay. I'm gonna let that burn, and then... Ah, crap, I got no charges left for it. If you got another charge left, plant it on, A, but...
Hacking team can hold off the gas a little
You might not be able to get
longer.
A, okay.
Still some rich pickings in there.
I get these two here, then. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to get A, but get C after this, and we should be good to go.
40 seconds. 30 seconds.
They really need to update this heist where you should be able to pick up loot while the thing is burning. That's stupid that you can't.
20 seconds left. Don't dawdle. Gas incoming. 10 seconds. That's it. Get the hell out of there or you're dead.
Yes, people can become sociopaths, yes. Can someone become a sociopath after losing a loved one? Yeah, perfect example is Michael Corleone.
Looking good. Get all that across the finish line and we're home and
Is your game for
dry.
members only? No, I play with
You'll
everyone.
need to sync your keycard swipes on the way out
Swipe.
too. They've reinforced the security room, and that's your only way out. Get ready. relax once you've made it to the top of the shaft. We're not out of the woods yet.
Get to my side. I'm empty. Fall back, sucking piece. I'm right over here.
Nobody releases the sticky bombs during this heist, but they help a lot.
Get behind something.
Here I come!
Get the shot. You put something between you and the EO. He got Menendez.
I'm gonna kill you!
They'll probably have crossplay on Xbox GTA 6.
Those bags look heavy. We have some very satisfied customers.
So we
You know what they say? In the event of emergency, leave all valuables behind and do not use the elevators. Oh well, never mind. We've got some heavy chatter on the police frequencies. Sounds like they're sending news.
Ooh, I'm at it all. Get out.
I need a medic!
Okay, come on, come on.
Moron!
Home stretch. I feel so alive. Whew. I don't even think my eczema's clearing
When you're
up.
doing aggressive, it's always best to do the roof. No, I don't know how to speak Russian. My father does.
You can parachute from the roof deck. Just get there.
The roof is a good exit until someone doesn't know how to open a parachute.
Weapons on the ground now! We have you surrounded!
Getaway cars, go! The driver has them in position.
Huh? Fire.
You might as well give up. You want
Okay, I'll go first here. To have a real-life person in GTA, they're gonna need that person's permission. That's why Rockstar does parodies always.
Drop fucking everything!
cocksucker. Visual contact's lost.
What?
Nobody's going in your funeral!
Okay,
No, Vito is nowhere near a psychopath in Godfather 1.
Just got word from the decoy. We don't have long before they have to tap out. Make the most of it. Wow, we really kicked the hornet's nest. It's amazing how fast the police response time is when the guy calling 911 is a billionaire. Or should I say, ex-billionaire after his next insurance premium comes through. Economic justice is beautiful.
Oh, what?
All right, the decoy
I
is
really
out.
missed that one.
You're on your own now.
Pro, do you go General Pang or Agent Joyce at the end of Mercenaries 2? Without spoiling the story, I go with Pang for all time's sake. I did both of them kind of equally. The thing is, though, is I will tell you, though, Jordan, thank you for the super chat. I don't like Colonel Pang in Mercenaries 2, because I like him more in Mercenaries 1. In Mercenaries 1, he was like a very, you know, cold, like, character, like, the way he talked, he was very serious, very cold. In Mercenaries 2, he's, like, just extremely aggressive and, like, loud, and I don't know, I didn't like his, I didn't like his personality in the second one. I felt like like, he should have been, like, the way he was in the first game. You know what I mean, Jordan? Why does Stephen Ogg hate Trevor? He doesn't hate Trevor. He just doesn't like that people constantly associate him with Trevor. Did Venezuela's government hate Mercenaries 2 when it was released? Oh, yes. They actually made a statement about it, and they said that the game was, like, encouraging, it was encouraging, like, a U.S. invasion of Venezuela. But what I will say about that is that the Venezuelan government is stupid, because Mercenaries 2 was criticizing the U.S. also. It wasn't just... Mercenaries 2 criticized China, it criticized Venezuela, it criticized the U.S., so, like, a huge part of the game, the U.S. is criticized in that. And, like, the U.S. enters Venezuela trying to get its oil in Mercenaries 2. That's, like, part of the plot. So, like, when they were saying, oh, the game's, you know, meant to promote, like, you know, American imperialism and stuff like that, it's like, no. It's, like, the literally huge part of the plot was that the Americans and the Chinese were both trying to steal the oil from Venezuela, but the Venezuelan government, like I said, the Venezuelan government is just so stupid and, corrupt that they're, yeah. They can't seem to understand that. Okay, we'll join Minifigs, Minifigs nightclub here. What I really hated, yeah, what I really hated about that heist is that for the Elite Challenge, you need to get 80 headshots and go in through the front door, which, like, why? Like, for Elite Challenge, wouldn't it make sense to do the heist the best way possible? Can you invite me, Minifig? Hang on, maybe I'll just, wait, maybe let's join it through here, join it here. No, I'm gonna mostly focus on GTA 6 when that comes out, Captain Beast Winger. No, that was Noriega, in Black Ops 2 Stripes. I used to watch WWE when I was a kid. You won't find the meaning of life playing video games 24 hours a day. I don't play video games 24 hours a day. What are you talking about? Okay, and can we, let's all join into Minifig's nightclub here, just so that Minifig can get that towards his career progress to get more people inside the nightclub here. I guess just invite everyone, into the nightclub here, Minifig.
Have a good time.
You coming in?
And Shy Raccoon, can you join into to his nightclub here too to help him with this?
Head down. Marcel will show you in.
Look at how cringy the nightclub is when there's no music on, you know, right? But I have to do it like that because copyright claims.
Okay, enjoy. Welcome to Making It.
Yeah, and I guess I'll be probably wrapping up the stream here in a few minutes. I'll answer a few questions before I go, though, guys.
Hi!
Anybody want to ask me anything before I go here? Mirror's Edge? Yeah, maybe one day I could play it. Do I think James Earl Cash can take on all the GTA protagonists? I don't know about that. Well, Cash is definitely a force to be reckoned with, but I don't know if he could take on all the GTA protagonists. Maybe one day, Menace. It's my birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Raccoon. Four more people? Okay, how would you react if your half-brother finds you and tries to murder you for insurance money? Well, what kind of question is that? Thank you for the super chat. But I would do everything in my power to keep him in prison then if that happened. Make sure he, and I don't know, what kind of question it is, but I'd want the, but I have not spoken to my half-brother in, like, 15 years or so. And there's not even an insurance policy that links us, so this is a ridiculous question, too. That's, yeah. How much money to get into landlording? Well, to own a rental property depends, depends on the state, because some states' properties are a lot cheaper, others are a lot more expensive. Where do your half-siblings live, Europe?
Can we help you?
No, I know you're just kidding, Isaiah, but it was like a weird question.
Okay, I'll need your entry fee, please.
Well, I'm happy for you, April. What's the difference between a narcissist and a psychopath? A narcissist basically thinks that they're smarter than everyone. They think that they're the best. A psychopath is, they don't have empathy for anyone. They don't care for anyone. A narcissist can at least care for some people, but a psychopath is not going to care for anyone. They have no empathy for others. I would like to see a new, like, Manhunt game come out. Yeah, I actually talked to some of my friends about that the other day, Hustler, about the Kane and Lynch 2 Xbox stream. We could maybe do that around May, because that'll be like 1 year since I did the Kane and Lynch 2 video. Yeah, I like playing uh Hell Let Loose. It's a great game. What do I think about GTA 5 PC expanded enhanced coming March 4th? Well, it's good. Thank you, Vals. That PC players are going to be able to have the full experience now. They're going to be able to have exactly what console players had. And when's Ace Attorney Investigations? Later this week. I don't know. This is, I guess, just it right now. Um, well, I'm not going to be playing the Majima Hawaii game anytime soon because I have to play the other Yakuza games, and it's gonna be a very long time till I get to that because it's gonna be so many Yakuza games I got to get through. Yeah, I want to do World at War Veteran co-op too. I don't know when I'll get around to it, but I'll do it. What do you think is the hardest in Mercenaries 1? I absolutely hate rescuing the Allied pilot that's getting taken to the Black Gate. Always get run over by the truck or it gets destroyed. Yeah, that one's a tough one. I would say the hardest mission in Mercenaries is probably the final one, the Ace of Spades. Probably, yeah. Did you find my channel through the Mercenaries videos by any chance, Jordan? You seem to know a lot about the series. I'm happy you know the game too. That doesn't mean that he cared about Walter though, Dylan. I think that Nova 6 is supposed to be based on Tobin Gas. That's what I think it was based on originally.
Me and Solomon are like really close now. What do you do exactly?
No, I don't play Clash Royale. I don't know what that is. He might think that he's a sociopath with psychopathic traits, but no, it's impossible to be a sociopath and a psychopath. Yeah, but there's a lot of other games I gotta get to right now, Mech. Oh, you found me for Red Dead Online. Okay, Jordan. But I'm happy that you like Mercenaries too. You're enjoying my series, my Mercenaries series? Wait, what's wrong, Casey? You got it, Minifig? You got the thing for your nightclub? Possibly tomorrow, Jordan. Probably tomorrow. Gulags are basically a prison camp or a prison where people are forced to work in Siberia. They're typically in Siberia. Bro, just want to ask, do you think Agent 47 sociopath or psychopath and 47 good hitmen, but chill dude? 47 is not a psychopath, because he cares for Diana, and he also cares for Lucas. So it's no, he is not by any means a psychopath. Is he a sociopath? Probably, yeah, because of all the stuff that he's done. But he's not by any means a psychopath. Is he a sociopath? Probably, yeah, because of all the stuff that he's done. But he's not by any means a psychopath. Is he a sociopath? Probably, yeah, because of all the stuff that he's done. But he's not a psychopath. Is he a sociopath? Probably, yeah, because of all the stuff that he's done. But he's not by any means a psychopath. Thank you, MZG, for that super chat. I will have Metal Gear Solid 2 on the poll list. The people 47 kills are bad people. Almost all the people that 47 has killed are bad people. Almost all of them. Really evil people. But I guess we'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Oh, and there's Captain Beastwinger. I'm currently rewatching all of your GTA playthroughs, and after that I'm replaying at 100% and completing every GTA game in preparation for GTA 6. Oh, thank you, Captain Beastwinger. I'm going to still do a stream on San Andreas. I got to get 100% completion. Pretty close to it, so maybe we'll do that near the end of the week this week. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, I missed another super chat. Let me see. Did I miss one? Oh, from Beastwinger. Do I think we'll get another Red Dead game? Not for many years. Yeah, not for many years. It's gonna be a long time since we get another Rockstar game after GTA 6. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you guys all have a great week coming up. Take care, everyone.